Yes, students, welcome to this another session of digital switching systems. Hopefully, the session 3 here. So, today, before we'll start, the main issue of topic of today's the important topic, very important topic of Module 5, that is maintenance of DSS. We'll just want to refresh what we covered so far, some important points. We started the Module 5 with interfacing to the typical DSS-CO. Typical DSS-CO. That is a main basis for typical DSS-CO is ESC and SSC that you have studied. After that, we've gone for the outages. So, out of age of devices or softwares, how it is going to have an impact on the maintainability of the DSS. So, that one concept we covered. Later, we gone for the patches. So, how patches have became the revolutionary reasons, contributing reasons for the in the evolution of firmwares, deployment of the firmware, starting from the simple, you can say, circuit cards, package cards. Okay. So just I want to refresh with the complete deployment of the firmware. There is 100% firmware in nowadays. We are getting it as in the form of embedded software. Either it may be the line cards or it may be OXC, that is DXC, digital cross connect circuits. So we need in one way or the other some coupling is required between the software and these firmwares. So the problems what we got so far, just I want to revise here. Increased number of simplex switches during firmware update process. So when you go for updating the firmware, we need more simplex communications. That is one reason. Second reason, the downtimes due to system faults while in simplex mode required initializations of the firmware changes. Means, so suppose if you are in the course of updating the particular firmware, okay, in the simplex mode, because of the some system faults, you have to stop it in between only. This again requires to start from the beginning, that is initializations, that leads to the defective firmware circuit packs. Okay, so like that we got some other more problems like delay in the upgrade process because of shortage of correct versions of firmware packs. That is incompatibility issues there between firmware and the operational software. So based on that, we got some performance measure here for what we are going to have the coupling, to what extent the coupling is successful. So that can be measured with the help of this the coupling ratio, that is it is a ratio of firmware circuits packs which are successfully done divided by the total number of available firmware circuit packs. If the ratio is high, will get tight, otherwise loose coupling. So this important point I just wanted to revise you people. So after that, without wasting time, now we'll switch on to the very important concept of today's discussion is a maintenance of the digital switching system, that is a switching system maintainability matrix. So this one question is fixed, that is switching system maintainability matrix in the exams. So figure, you have to draw this table here, guys. You have to draw the table here, okay. And figure shows here set of sample metrics or parameters with arbitrary scores are there. So these are the sample parameters, okay. You can say the performance parameters to assess to how well the maintenance of DSS is going on, okay. So simply we cannot tell that okay, the maintenance is done. It should be measurable on, it should be measured in terms of some numbers. Okay, you can say that the maintenance is 100% or 20% or 60%, something like that. Okay, so that can be done with not by simply using some numbers 40% or 60%, but that number is coming from the some detailed reports, some detailed parameters which are called actually maintainability parameters. maintenance parameters, switching system maintenance parameters or maintainability metrics. We are not looking deep into each of these parameters. Here I took example only for the explanation purpose, 4 or 5 maintenance parameters. Okay, the scoring will be done from 0 to 5. Scoring will be done from 0 to 5 here. Later this table can be used for any other purpose, statistical purpose, to see how that predict what could be the maintenance in the next 1 month or 2 months, whether it is heavily required, because this is, you can say, the maintenance in the beginning only I told the most of the software companies are putting 80% of their money, profit money, for this maintenance. So this hope you guys understanding the importance why this the last topic is dedicated for the maintenance of DSS. Okay, so here you can see, if you look at this one, the first parameter here is the upgrade process success rate is there. So here it is measured in terms of percentage here. If you are going to do the upgrade process, if it is successful for 40% or less, then you will be allowed to put 0 mark. If it is 50% successful upgradation process, you will be allowed to put 1 mark, because you can see for 90% or more successful upgradation process you will get 5 mark. Because why? The DSS is a real-time system, telecommunication system, which is going to be supported by this, is a real-time system. We don't want it to be halted even for a second, communication system. Okay, so this upgradation process success rate we want it to be almost 100%. There is no excuse for this one. Okay, so that's why this is how we are going to put it as a marking of 5. So like that we'll see one by one. So here upgrade process success rate, if you take here, just now the snapshot is here. So if the upgrade process of a typical DSS is successful only 40%, plus and the 0 just now explained, or 5 if it is 90% or more. So what is the impact on this? So the impact of customer cooperation during upgrade process, that is one aspect. So why we are getting this varied percentage of success rate will depend on the customer cooperation also, and because based on this customer cooperation we will be having the time which is required for the upgradation process. So these two are considered in measuring the success of an upgrade process. So the success rate will depend on these things, the customer cooperation, which in turn also decide the timing, how much time it is going to consume to complete the upgradation process that is successfully. More time it will consume, no, then again we will start getting the low score here. So upgradation process should be done in time. So that is the main intention of what we are trying to inference from this one. Okay, so the next one is number of patches applied per year. Okay, so here you can see the second maintainability matrix is the number of patches applied per year. Patches, all you guys know that it is a object code or any basic generic code which we can edit and execute that one without recompiling it. That one, that is called patch, or fixing the bug, we can say. So no recompilation is required. So like that, how many such problems you are going to fix it up, or patches, in 1 year? So if you are going to do 600 or more, means you will be allowed to put 0 mark. If you are going to put do number of patches 500 or less, 500 or more, 500 or less, equal to or less than 500, you will be allowed to put 1 mark. Like that, if you are allowed to do 100 or less number of patches per year, you will be getting highest score. This is the good indication of system maintainability. Means that, so figure shows situation in which a single fault generates a single patch and CO personnel are involved in patching the switch. See, this patching could be done either manually by sending the person or by remotely. Okay, it is a time consuming one. And more number of pages, what it will indicate, so our system is not supported with reliable devices or softwares. Less number of pages if you are doing means everything is working fine, reliably, okay, without wasting much of the time in fixing those faults. Okay, so the example shows that if the number of pages is greater than 600, we will get 0, that's why, and 5 if it is less than or equal to 100. So this is how we can explain each of the parameter guys here. Okay, remember this is a very important point of in the module 5 we are discussing today. Each of the maintenance parameter we have to explain in detail, and that table you have to draw in the beginning. So this how you listen this one and try to summarize answer in your own sentences. Explanation hardly will get. I think for this you might have to refer to the Syed Ali book itself, not the flood, Syed Ali book. Okay, so not much explanation is available. So by experience I am telling. So more explanation you can put or you can draw it from these videos. So the first matrix what parameter I discussed is upgrade process success rate. So here you can see the comparative statement. If the success rate is more, you are getting higher mark scoring. If the number of patches applied per year is less, then you are getting more mark. Like that also we can such comparative analysis between these parameters also we can include it in your answers. Okay, anyhow you have to elaborate it. So this is not a bad elaboration. You are comparing here. For some parameter, large value will get large score. For some another maintenance parameter, small value will get large score. Their good indication for some parameters will depend on their large value, and for some parameters will depend on their smaller value. That is like that. How you can draw the comparative inferences or comparison between the successive parameters here. Okay. So for next we'll go for another parameter, diagnostic resolution rate. Diagnostic program should have good resolution rates. Means what? Diagnostic program means what? We already know about this one. Okay, and many times you discussed about that also. Okay, sorry. If a system is not able to do particular function, then it should have to correct it by itself. It should identify where the fault is there, it should isolate the surrounding portion, and it should correct that one within the prescribed time. That is the diagnostic, that is the job of the diagnostic programs. And these diagnostic programs should be designed to have good resolution rates, and that will depend on many things. Means how well it is correctly identifying the name and location of the faulty unit, and down to the circuit pack level. Means it is like this. So the capability becomes more important when its UI is not stuffed. Here you can see the more problem is there if the common office or local exchange office is not sufficiently having supporting hardware or softwares. In that case, most of the responsibility is there with the diagnostic programs. Their resolution should be very high. Means they are more capable to correctly determine the name and location of the faulty unit. That is, diagnostic is conducted remotely, and the technician is dispatched with correct circuit packs. You should assign technician with correct circuit packs only. That is possible only when the problem is known correctly in advance. What is the problem is there, correct problem is there, and where the fault is there. Okay, which remotely located place it is arising. So all these information should be correctly identified, then only we can save the time here. So after reaching that remote place, repair times that were used in Markov models depend on the accuracy of diagnostic programs. How much our diagnostic programs, of course they are designed with resolution, but how much they are accurate. Less accurate program will require additional diagnostic runs for identifying defective circuit packs. thus increasing the repair times. So this is important, guys. Repairing time will not be increased because it is a real-time system, and you don't want it to be hampered for longer time. Okay, so that's what we exactly mean by resolution. Resolution of diagnostic problems will depend on all these things. All these factors will, you can say, contribute for how well you are going to design your diagnostic programs with more accuracy and resolution. So an example here, it is shown in the figure, which assigns a value 0 if your resolution is less, and if your resolution is more, you will get more score. It is similar to your first parameter. Success rate is more, you get more score. If resolution is less, you will get low score. But the middle one, number of patches, if they are more, you will get low score. If they are less, you get high score, like that. So this is the third parameter we discussed so far in the maintainability matrix. Let us see another one, maintenance parameter here, that is reported critical faults and major faults. So these are coming under fault reports, fault reporting and fault correction, which plays a very important role in maintainability of DSL switch. Fault reporting and fault correction means which is actually coming under reporting of the faults. Okay, there are some strong industry guidelines in this case. For example, Belcor's reliability and quality measurements for telecommunication systems, which requires that all critical faults should be fixed within 24 hours. Some standards we are following, that is as for the Belcor. Critical faults, if they are there, should be done within 24 hours. Major faults should be done with 30 days or fewer. So what do you mean by the difference is there between the critical faults and major faults? Critical faults are something like if some in the remote tower which is at a distance of around 10 or 15 kilometers, the remote tower, if one of the very important power system has failed, okay, because of that it is going to hamper the communication around surrounding village, one village. That is a critical fault, should be done within 24 hours. Major faults, some junction circuits or trunks are not working, they should be repaired within 30 days because some backup junctions or trunk circuits may be there. Okay, that is I think for your level to understand sufficient. So that's why you can say Belcor has suggested 24 hours deadline for critical faults to be refixed, and rest 30 days or fewer for the major faults. Okay, so that thing is coming under the fault reporting and fault correction. So example here, you will get the score 0 for critical faults were not corrected in 6 days or less, and 5 critical faults were corrected within 1 day. Means if the time is less, you will get more score here. Similarly, major faults, a 0 score is entered if they are not done within 55 days, you can say. Score 5, it will done in 30 days or fewer, like that. Okay, so this is all about the reported critical and major faults. So this is how guys you have to explain about a maintainability matrix, digital switching system maintainability matrix. You have to draw the table. Okay, you draw the table there, and here I took the 4 parameters, it's not wrong. Success upgradation success rate, and some diagnostic resolution, and these things. Some 4 or 5 parameters we took here as an example and elaborated here. And remember guys, never forget, so explanation is less, you can compare each performance of each parameter with each other, and hope that will help you to elaborate your answer. Okay, so this one is a very important part we covered here, that is a digital switching system maintainability matrix. So the next class what we are going to see is a strategy for improving software quality, because the DSS software is a genuine one and we have to upgrade its quality based on the real-time new challenges what we are getting there. So this is where depends on process matrix, that is a maintainability matrix itself, which is coming there. So those maintainability matrices are actually handled by some processes that we are going to see separately in the next separate videos. defect analysis and continuous improvement program, as it has been shown in the block diagram. So here three main sections are there here. Defect analysis, these are all processes guys, metrics you can see: software development metrics, software testing metrics, deployment metrics, each one having its own objectives and thresholds. All these feedbacks will be given to field problems and outages, and its output is customer satisfaction metrics given as input to tune your continuous software process improvement. That's what is known as a continuous improvement program. There will be continuous improvement based on the threshold what you are getting from the feedback of customer feedback. That is a threshold. Hope these three sections and this is another important part we are going to discuss in the next video. Thank you.